This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
This episode is brought to you by Harry's Razors special holiday offers. Happy holidays.
Mamma mia.
Merry Christmas. We're bringing it back.
Oh, we're bringing it back.
That's
okay.
right. Exclusively here.
Oh, Buon Natale.
Red hot comic book movie news, shooting up your butthole. The Weekly Planet, the Weekly Planet.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday. With me, as always, is my co-host, Nick Mason.
Sorry, I'm late. I was watching The Irishman.
Oh, mate.
I think maybe I'm still watching The Irishman.
How many bloody weeks did it bloody take you to bloody... did you start it before it went on bloody Netflix and you still bloody get it done on time?
Oh, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. Really long for a movie, isn't it?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
But it's not. We'll talk. But it's not long for It's not long for a mini series.
No, it's not, exactly,
And it's not
yeah.
long for a season of things that you'll put on that'll appear on Netflix. All
Yeah.
of
Do you
a
think it's
sudden.
more like the psychological aspect of it being 3.5 hours that makes it be like, this is long? But if it was like 6 to 7 episodes, you'd be like, this is brisk.
Maybe I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
Anyway.
anything at this point.
Our tapes are for sale, aren't they, Mason?
Sure are.
Explain that.
So
For me.
last year, we partnered with our friends over at audiobooksontape.com,
It was a hot time.
and we put some best of the Weekly Planet on a little USB cassette tape. It's not a
Yes.
real cassette. Oh, it looks like a cassette. It's got
Yeah,
a little
it's
USB flicky thingy out, and you can put it in your computer or your phone or what have you, and you can get all the best stuff from last year's episodes. But this year,
Yes.
we put all 30 of our movie commentaries on another tape. I didn't know we'd done 30 commentaries. Isn't that wild?
It doesn't even seem right.
Right?
Like the amount, yeah. Anyway, but it is. And how many hours is it?
69 hours.
Nice.
There we go. That's
There is
right.
a bonus one that's exclusive on there, that being Avengers Endgame. We're not releasing that online anytime soon. So
Yeah.
if you want to get that, it'll be on there.
Yeah, now, so I think there were 250 tapes
Yep.
on the website. They've all sold out, but you can click back order, and the guy over there, he knocks them out real quick.
Yeah.
So people have already got them.
Oh, really?
They went on sale, I don't know, like a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And people already have them. So
What a bloody
people already,
legend. He's all
people
over
already
it,
posted
yeah.
them. And they're in space age
Yes.
white this time. They look great.
Also, you can choose your currency. So you don't need to worry about
Oh, yeah, that's true.
particular conversion or
Yeah.
what does it actually cost or whatever.
Also, you can delete what's on there and replace it with anything
Oh my
you want.
goodness,
if you-
and
you want.
that's the dream.
That's worth its weight
That's
in
what I
gold,
did with
think.
mine.
Yeah, right.
I replaced it with 30 additional commentaries I'd done just with me.
Wow.
That's right.
Is it just commentaries on your life? It's just you muttering under your breath. You're like at a cafe and it's like, this is taking a bit longer to get my coffee, isn't it? I'm doing it like this.
Service anomalies and this.
Yes.
That's
I've
not- it's
discovered
not even that
my
busy.
new favorite thing this week. Speaking of cafes, I just remembered earlier this week, you and I went out to lunch at a cafe. We brought your son along. And I've discovered my new favorite thing is attempting to convince your son that all his Transformers are named Reg. He does not care for it. Because one of them was called Wedge. And I'm like, oh, Reg. And he's like, no.
It's re-
And I'm like, oh, that's that Red Alert. No, that's Reginald Alert. Your friend Reginald Alert. He's like, no.
So I think you did convince him that Megatron's father's name is Regatron.
Yes.
At some point.
Reg Megatron.
I think that
Yeah.
you might have made
Anyway,
that
he
work.
doesn't like it at
He
all.
doesn't like it.
So
It's fun though.
it's so much fun.
Yeah. It's hard not to do. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
He likes you.
I
now.
think he's turning around. As he gets to know me, he's liking me less.
Yeah,
So
well, that's probably true. Anyways, first bit of news. It's an odd bit of news, but I guess this is worth talking about because Johnny Depp is producing a musical about the life of Michael Jackson that will be told from the perspective of the late singer's famous sequin glove. Do you want more information?
no, that'll do. No, please, actually.
Playwright Julian Nitzberg wrote "For the Love of a Glove," what? Yep.
This keeps getting better and better.
An unauthorized musical fable about the life of Michael Jackson as told by his glove, which is described as a fresh revisionist look at the strange forces that shaped Michael Jackson and the scandals that bedeviled him.
Do you think in this unauthorized revisionist thing, do
Yeah.
you think he's called Michael Jackson, or do you think it's like a Jackie Jomp situation where he's like
Oh, right. Well, could it be like,
Mitchell Johnson,
but can you
the
can,
king of pop?
because you can write unauthorized biographies of people, can't you? Or you could say it's a parody of
I guess
sorts,
so.
yeah.
You also can't defame the dead.
Oh,
So,
really?
You can say whatever you want, really.
That's very interesting.
Like legally, you can't get sued for that.
I didn't know that. He told Page Six that a major TV network had asked him to write a film about Jackson, but pulled out after that him and the network couldn't agree over how to cover the allegations of child abuse. So he proposed a solution. I said, how's this? Everything MJ has been accused of has actually been caused by his glove, which is actually an alien from outer space and feeds on virgin boy blood. They laughed and said, can you do the normal version? And he turned down the TV offer and decided to write this idea for the stage.
Now, you've made that up.
None
you've
of that.
made up a funny joke.
I mean, it's
one of the weirdest things we've ever said on this podcast. You've made it up. And kudos to you for making up such a weird thing to blame pedophilia, alleged pedophilia,
yes.
On
A magic space
But I mean,
glove.
he's dead, so I can't defame him. So
That's
on a magic space glove. Where did he acquire the space glove?
who's...
Also, is this in or out now?
I think it's like Venom 3, like it lands next to him
Huh.
and then grabs the first thing it sees. Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Who wants this? Like, surely though, if you're a massive fan and you're with him 100%, you don't want to see a play where a space alien glove makes him commit pedophilic acts.
Yeah, right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I
Like,
do
what
say,
is
yeah.
this
But maybe you do. Maybe you're like, I told you it was the glove all along. Why are we talking about this?
I don't know. I just thought-
But hang on, isn't that's the joke thing he said? So did he
No,
really?
that's the one that
did he
they're
really
making.
propose?
Yeah, he proposed that, and that's the one that they're making into a play.
with the space glove.
Yes.
I still don't think this is real. I think you've seen the headline and you've riffed a bit.
I went into
and the riff's gone too
I
far,
have
but you've
copied
committed.
exactly what was in the article.
Well, this
I'm
sounds
not saying the
awful.
article is accurate. I'm just saying this is what was written from the source article.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, so Johnny Depp's involved for
And it's
some
called
reason.
For the Love of the Glove.
It's called For the Love of a Glove, an
Oh,
unauthorized musical fable about the life of Michael Jackson as told by his glove.
in parentheses, not a pedophile.
But the glove is?
But the asterisk. But the glove is a pedophile.
So here we go. That's happening. In less controversial news, Star Wars.
All right. Yep.
Less?
Oh, maybe we should open, like, whenever we have an opinion about, like, The Last Jedi or something
Yeah.
like that, we could be like, somebody's making a pedophile musical about Michael Jackson where he's not a pedophile. Anyway, Star Wars news, and people will be like, thank God.
Yeah, they go out of that. Out of the weeds. Deadline have reported that the Rise of Skywalker is looking to hit about 175 to 200 million in its opening US weekend.
Good or bad, can't remember anymore.
It's good, but also tracking means nothing.
Yeah.
They don't know, and whenever they're like, well, it's below, it's because the estimate wasn't right. If it's below or
Yeah.
above, it's because they guessed wrong, and they don't really, like, then the way that they figure that out, it's
almost entirely arbitrary.
It's almost entirely arbitrary.
Yeah.
It's sketchy, and they don't really know.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
sometimes it's accurate, but it's like the weather. I
Yeah,
mean,
right,
that's probably
yeah.
no. It's not like the weather because the weather is often accurate.
Yeah, the weather is more. A weather report is more accurate these days than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yes.
But yeah, the tracking seems to be.
Yeah.
It's wizardry at this point. It's just like
definitely.
or like pulling rocks out of a bag or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it's less though. It's gonna because the last Jedi was 200.
Because get woke, broke, go broke,
Get
bro.
go broke. Get broke, bro. Get broke, go broke. That's what
That's
I
right.
say.
Yes. Get broke, stay broke, bro.
Bro. I was gonna say bloke.
Yeah. Also works.
That's less than the Last Jedi's 220 and the Force Awakens 247. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't surprise me if it was diminishing returns
because of get woke, go broke.
Well, no, because I think
Yeah, no, of course not.
I just I mean I'm sure that again that's probably an element of it, but I think everybody who screams get woke, go broke sees it anyway.
Oh yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
they
Yeah.
don't boycott it, and I think they go to see it so they can scream about it regardless.
Yeah, because they're cowards.
Yes, because that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
No, so anyway, well, I hope it's good.
I think the slogan should be "Get woke, be a good bloke,
bro.
bro." Thank you. Hashtag Get woke, be a good bloke, bro.
Bro. Also, I'll get all the bloody Star Wars stuff out of the way. I
Okay,
know
thank
that
you.
most.
Appreciate it.
Then we'll get back to the glove thing. All right.
Okay, good.
John Boyega also. It was reported this week that
What do you think Mark Hamill? What do you think Luke Skywalker's 7 hands up to these days?
I think good stuff. It's
Okay,
probably doing
good.
charity.
He's probably doing charity work.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I know, right?
Thank God there's some good ones out there.
Yeah.
Do you think Michael Jackson cuts his own arm off Evil Dead style? Like at the end of it?
Oh no, I think he just has a pill overdose.
Oh, yeah, that did happen, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and the glove runs away.
Skitters under like a table or something.
Yeah, exactly. And waits for its next.
And then it takes over. Then it during like his auction of all this stuff, it takes over that statue of the Michael Keaton Batman that's got his face on it. Like it jumps on that and it becomes like a monster.
Anyways, I don't know if you remember, but a script for The Rise of Skywalker turned up on eBay.
I always
And
heard about that, yeah.
It turned out that it belonged to John Boyega. He left it in a hotel room, like under the bed. Somebody got it, put it online.
Okay, right.
It all got recovered, but they didn't want to reveal who it was. But this week he was like, it was me, I did it. This is my last one. Who cares?
Right. Do you think there's like a budget at Lucasfilm or like any of these places that's like
Lockdown budget
to like bid on stuff on eBay or whatever? It's like this. All right, it's $50,000. All right, I guess we're buying it.
I think they send
a guy with a gun,
like lawyers and cease and desist.
Yeah,
and all that
right,
kind of
right.
thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming that's how they got it back. They wouldn't buy it back, but they would spend more money than it would be to buy it back to crush the person who got that.
Yeah, but do you think also you'd have to do something about presumably the person who found it read it.
Yeah.
So they know the plot of Rise of
Yeah,
Skywalker.
I
So
guess
you gotta,
they would, yeah.
You got to silence them, right?
Yes. With a gun.
With a gun, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm just taking my jumper off. I misread the temperature in this room, which is always the same
James,
temperature.
what's happened here is you're recording one of your commentaries, your real life commentaries. I just took my jumper off. It's too hot in here. I don't like this. I'm complaining, but there's a cafe. It's too hot in this cafe.
Stay broke. Bro. Yeah. Yeah. So what happens to the person who
knows the whole plot details?
Good. Well, did they even read it? Probably, I assume.
I would. If you found the Rise of Skywalker script, would you read it?
No. But I also wouldn't put it on eBay.
Well, that's
I'm
true.
not a
Yeah.
moron.
Yeah.
So
You know what? I'd probably put it in an envelope, mail it to yourself. And
Yeah.
then, I don't know what that.
do what he
means.
did in The Predator. Swallow it. Get on a plane.
That's exactly
So
right.
what happened in The Predator?
That's what happened. Yeah.
The newest Predator movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, there's still spoilers out there about it. So
So a bloody magic glove in the that Predator.
Yeah.
Tell you what,
It's a good movie.
it's not.
It wasn't a good movie, was it?
That was a bad movie.
We have got the runtime though. It's 141 minutes, which is more than The Force Awakens, which is 138, but less than The Last Jedi, which is the longest with 152.
Oh my goodness.
So the runtime is, what's that?
About
2
the
hours
same.
2 hours and 11, whatever that, 2021? I don't know, whatever it is. The other thing is,
You wouldn't read it?
no, I really wouldn't.
Would you flick to a random page and read a word?
No, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably read Solo. Like if Solo fell in my lap.
Now?
Oh yeah.
In the year 2019?
Definitely. If I found
Oh my
a
god, this
copy of
movie I've
Solo-
seen.
No, I wouldn't read it. Would you read it?
Oh, I reckon maybe I'd read the opening page.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, I remember when I saw Revenge of the Sith, right?
Yes.
Well, I got the video game the day before because it came out the day before for some reason, and I played the first level of that, and then I turned it off because I didn't want to know. So as soon as you get to Grievous's ship or get through the first bit, I turn it off.
Okay.
So that's whatever the equivalent of that is. I'd do
right.
that.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing is I don't know. I think you started calling it my magnum opus because it's certainly not.
I've really bigged it up.
Why have I been calling it that? It's a 34-minute kind of mini documentary about Shadows of the Empire, which is the Star Wars multimedia project, which is basically I was going to say it's a movie. It's not a movie.
It's never be a movie.
Book. It was a comic series. It was a video game. It was a toy line. It had a soundtrack.
You're going to say it was a toilet.
It was
a toilet.
Yeah. It had micro machines and weird latex
Oh.
masks, which you've seen sitting around in my house for.
Did it have ring raiders?
I don't know.
Do you remember the
if it
ring
had
raiders?
Which were ring raiders?
They were like little planes.
Yeah.
On little rings,
oh,
like little
and
plastic
that you'd
rings.
launch them off?
No, they didn't do anything.
Then crap.
They didn't do anything. They were like a little plane on a ring on a little stalk, like a plastic stalk.
Bad.
And you were just like, woo.
Ring Raiders.
Bad name too.
Yeah, not good. Ring Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't think they had any Ring
Couldn't
Raiders.
call them that these days.
No, but I haven't actually
PC
put it.
got mad.
Absolutely. When recording this, I haven't put it out, but it'll be out by now. So if you want to check it out, I really appreciate it. It's got some really cool animations in it, which is, so if the video's bad, because
At least you got the
I
animations.
cannot tell. And I can't wait till I've made like one critical error in it that I've
Oh, I
missed.
can't wait.
And I'm just going to get that comment for the rest of my life.
I can't wait till it's pointed out you made a critical error at like minute 2.
Yeah.
And then inside your mind, you can see it all branching off, all the errors that now
that's
are
right.
being compounded.
Yeah.
You said to me, should I take any of it out? And I'm like, no, because you were like, is this interesting? But I
Yeah.
feel you've watched it probably so many
Yeah.
times, you can't tell if anything's
I did end up
interesting.
chipping probably a minute out of it
Okay,
at the
right.
end, just like stuff that I feel like I repeat myself. But
Okay.
anyway, if you're very interested in that very specific era of Star Wars, you might be keen.
I think people are.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm going to watch it. Opening day,
I don't believe today.
I guess.
So, I love your enthusiasm. You didn't want to watch the opening day, but now you're like,
Yeah.
God damn it.
34 minutes. You know? I mean,
Yeah.
you shaved that minute out, but
Yeah, I know,
do I have
right?
time? Maybe I'll put it on in the car, like
Yeah.
on my phone, and just leave it.
You'll miss the animation. Oh, so I make sure that I know that you've watched it. Yeah. In relation to the Hulk news, this is what Mark Ruffalo told The Con,
Okay.
which is apparently some kind of source for media that I've never heard of. Maybe it's a big one. Kevin Feige asked me last week if I had any more ideas or stories for the Hulk, and I said, yeah, I still think there's some stories.
Yeah, how about you give me a script for a Hulk movie and I act
I'll
in the
do that
Hulk
one.
movie because that's what I get paid
Yeah.
for. Not to come up with your ideas, Feige, you son of a bitch. And then I got fired. I don't understand.
They got Edward Norton back.
Yeah.
Did you see any the interviews where he talks about the Hulk and why he wanted to make it good and whatever? And he was
No,
yeah.
I saw some of his like Edward Norton's like iconic role.
Yeah, I watched that
Video.
They're good those, aren't they?
They are good. I like them a lot, yeah.
And they're good because they just let them talk. It's not
Yeah.
like, what's your craziest day on set? Tell me about your. Tell me about your
Yeah,
process
so I
or
feel
whatever,
like
I don't
if they have a lot to say, and they're not. What I like about them is they're not to a particular time frame. It's not
Yeah.
like that. We've got 10 minutes. Like some of them go 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Some go 15 minutes. It's just however much they want to talk.
Yeah, exactly. And then and then they get to their latest movie. I'm like, ugh, turn it off. Yeah, tell me about the latest movie.
Although Jamie
Edward
Lee
Norton.
Curtis did one recently for Knives Out, and she's like, Knives Out inspired me to start, like she's going to direct a movie.
Oh, really?
This is coming up soon.
Oh,
'Cause she's
terrific.
like, just the idea of like making a new thing and just the
Yeah.
creative process on set and blah, blah, blah.
It's called Spoons In. Thank you. And I said, yeah, there's
You know
still
what, like an ice cream sundae
Yeah,
or something?
that's
Wow, what a nice time for everyone.
And I said, yeah, there's still some stories to tell. And he said, well, why don't you come in and tell me them and we'll see if we can find a place for you in the Marvel Universe. And apparently what he spoke to them about is Hulk versus Wolverine, which I think
Oh.
could be pretty great.
That could be great. I mean, that's the...
It's a good team up.
Well, it's the team up, and that's kind of the iconic first appearance of Wolverine was Hulk versus
Yes.
Wolverine. He was just like a sort of just an antagonist in Canada.
That would make sense.
A cantagonist.
Antagonist.
Which is what you call any enemies you make in Canada.
True.
Yeah.
That would make sense, though, because they often go back to the source for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
So I didn't even think of that, but yeah, that would be
Because
a
there
good
was
introduction.
there's that iconic one, and then in the Ultimate Marvel universe, there was
Yes.
I'm not sure if it was ever finished. It might have been finished months or even
I
years
think
later.
every time
but there was an
we
ultimate.
bring
Yeah,
this
yeah.
up,
There was an
we say-
Ultimate Wolverine versus Hulk.
Can someone definitively tell us
Tell
if
us,
this is finished?
yes or no.
Yeah.
Was the series completed? Because the art was great.
We don't want to, I don't know.
Yes, we want a yes or no.
Only if you know.
Only if you know. But it's the one where there's an iconic panel
Yeah.
where the Hulk tears Wolverine
Yes.
literally in half, like
Yeah.
at the waist.
Yep.
And he has to drag himself to find his legs
Yes.
and put himself back together.
Classic.
So, you know. I liked it.
Also, there's also, of course, the Old Man Logan Hulk showdown as well, which
Well,
happens
that's
in
true,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, so there's been
But
quite
I
a
mean,
few.
you know, a lot of people are constantly wondering how they're going to introduce mutants to
Yeah.
the the MCU, and maybe it's Wolverine dragging half of himself to his legs.
Find his legs.
That could work.
How did I get here? He says to himself.
That's right.
Hulk did it.
Record scratch. Yep, that's me.
No, that's just my legs.
Yeah.
I could just start with his legs. Yep.
Just standing there, just
That's my
wobbling, and
legs.
then they fall over.
In other news, I was wondering what was going on with this movie because we hadn't seen a trailer. Kong versus Godzilla was pushed from March to November.
Okay.
I don't know what this necessarily means. Being pushed back it's often not a good sign.
But it's often not the worst.
Yeah,
sign.
so but because the last
It's a spectrum.
Yes.
On one side you have New Mutants, and on the other side you have a movie that was improved by this.
Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic. is the release date of Sonic being pushed back?
Yeah, because remember they had to redo
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah, no, I remember.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe this is something to do with the last Godzilla movie underperforming. Maybe they're not happy with it. Maybe it's a special effects thing. Maybe it's all of the above. Maybe they're just targeting a different November release date to kind of to get a clearer shot at the box office.
Maybe Kong suffered a knee injury.
He might have. So don't expect to see a trailer for that anytime soon, I'm assuming, off the back of
I
this
remain
news.
hopeful, and I'm going to expect a trailer sometime very soon.
Well, that's not what I said. I said the opposite. I said wait a little bit. I think now's way too early.
I've waited a little bit
Yeah.
from when you said that moments ago, and I'm fully expecting a trailer.
It's literally a year from now. Sometimes they do it. Justice League was like a year and a half.
But
before
I
it came
can I
out.
can see them dropping a teaser that's just like pan across Skull Island, dark lightning bolts, and then like
set of legs.
Godzilla. Yeah, instead of legs
How did
tumbling
they get
over.
here?
Yeah, it's just Kong's legs, smoke coming off the top of him, like atomic breath, like a little blue glow, and then his legs tumble over.
Terrific.
And then it's like, yeah, that's how it's going to end.
Yeah. So back to Marvel news. This is by Charles Murphy. Victor Von Doom will begin expanding.
Is that Charlie Murphy? Eddie
No,
Murphy's brother.
He died.
Oh,
You can't defame the dead.
that's true.
You can say whatever you want. Is that what you said?
I don't have
Defame?
anything bad to say about Charlie
I don't
Murphy.
either.
No, I don't know enough about him, to be
I
honest.
very much enjoy his Dave Chappelle skits where he talks about the 80s or
Oh, yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. Victor Von Doom will be expanding his empire, apparently. Listen to this, Mason.
Oh, yes.
Conquering parts of Africa and ultimately come into conflict with the nation of Wakanda and the Black Panther, hence the introduction of Victor Von Doom into the universe.
Oh.
So do you think
So
it's...
Charles Murphy said this?
Yes.
Who's that?
I can't remember. So that's like one of those Scoops dudes.
Oh,
Yeah.
from Spoons In. From the
Spoons
movie
In.
Spoons In.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
So, do you think that's what they'll be doing instead of launching straight into a Fantastic Four, straight into an X-Men, introduce some characters in other things, and then...
Yeah,
Because
maybe.
also-
I mean, we need to introduce a new big bad villain. I mean,
Yeah,
we don't
that's
have
right.
to, but it'd be nice.
Yeah, they've definitely tangled before. Has he invaded Wakanda before? Almost certainly. Because he's got his own nation.
And
He's got
again,
Black
yeah, I
Area.
mean, again, the original origin of Black Panther was a Fantastic Four crossover. So
Exactly.
going back to the well.
Going back to the well. Also, I meant to mention this earlier, but by putting Wolverine in a Hulk movie, it means you, again, don't have to pay Universal, who still own the rights to solo Hulk movies.
I see, right.
So they'll the next time we see Hulk,
Yeah.
if at all, which we will almost certainly, it'll be another crossover, I'd imagine,
Yeah.
for certain. Also, solo Hulk movies don't generally do well.
And also, can you imagine Comic-Con? They're doing one of their bloody timelines again, and they
Yeah.
just put up on the screen Hulk versus Wolverine. Like, that's the title.
Yeah.
Imagine the woos.
Do you think they'd call it Hulk versus Wolverine though?
Maybe.
Or are people?
Oh, are they averse to V
Yeah,
movies?
I think the V movie has
Uh-huh.
been. I don't know. They've sullied it
Yeah, maybe.
because there's never been a good one.
Maybe that's correct, yeah. You're forgetting about Ford v Ferrari?
Apparently, that is
Dawn
very
of Clutches?
Good. Yeah,
That's what that movie is.
that's apparently my brother, who's not a cars guy, the one you don't like.
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he loved it. He thought
All right,
it was
there you
great.
go.
But it's not. It's called.
But I feel he also likes bad movies, your brother.
Sometimes he does. So do you.
Yeah, but I feel, but here's the thing. I feel at least I'm consistent, like my methodology of what I like. But I feel
okay.
your brother's all over the place.
Yeah, that's probably
He just
true.
likes or doesn't like things
You can't get a
entirely
read-
at random.
You can't get a read
I
on
can't
it.
get a read on that guy.
That's why you don't like him. One of the many reasons. Yeah. So, but it's not. It's called Le Mans or whatever.
Oh, Le
in-
Mans
in,
66. Yeah, right.
which would not sell here. Nobody
No.
would see a movie here called, except if you're a car nut.
Or you like French things.
Or you like French things, which everybody in Australia does not,
Yes.
other than the fries, obviously. Are they even French?
I don't think so.
The French get a bad rap, man. I've been
Right.
there. I found them very nice.
I've
Even
also been in France, yeah. Mhm.
We've both travelled.
We've both travelled.
I think in most countries...
On a
if-
bicycle built for two.
That's right.
Wearing stripy shirts and berets.
The problem is, though,
Baguettes in a bag.
That-
Ding, ding. Yes.
we're facing different directions. We're pedaling away from each other. We couldn't get anything done.
That's right.
Yeah. But no, I think like in most places, if you make the effort to like learn like little
Yeah.
phrases and things,
Uh-huh.
you know,
Baguette.
baguette, and all the slurs, and then
For
all, and then
sure,
all
yeah.
the slurs.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
This report comes via Variety. There was a big write-up about the future of the DC universe and how they're looking to maybe fill that R-rated gap in the superhero universe because Marvel obviously aren't going to do it in movies at least. So it's just, you know, they're like more R-rated stuff and whatever, et cetera, and so forth. But one of the things they mentioned is they've yet to figure out what to do with the iconic characters of Superman and Batman. Batman is obviously further along because that movie is...
The Batman,
They've
yes.
cast it and it's all ready to go. But they've also been talking about J.J. Abrams about Superman because remember he signed that deal with Warner Brothers to produce and direct. And
he's long been attached. Superman Flyby, was
yeah,
that
he
him?
wrote Flyby, but McGee was going to direct it. And then
yeah, nice.
Ratner, we've got a video on it.
Yeah, we should
from
have.
like years back. There was also meeting with Michael B. Jordan, where he pitched to Warner's on a version of the character. However, he's not ready to commit because he's got a full slate. So if that happens, or if a Superman movie happens at all, it won't be before 2023 because they're literally at like day dot. They've got nothing, even though they've got a Superman in the universe, which people seem to like, I would say.
Would you replace... if Michael B. Jordan was in and he was going to be getting in on what remains of the DCEU, would you make him Clark Kent Superman or would you make him a different Superman?
I'd make him, what's the other version of Superman with the red, the gold, not the gold, the silver suit? If you put him in the universe from there, then you do that version. Yeah, right. But I'm not adverse to him just being Clark Kent. I don't think it matters that big a deal. I know that's get woke, go broke or whatever you want to call it. But and I know people say, well, what if Black Panther was white or whatever? It's not the same. But to cast him, what is that other version of Superman called?
I can't remember.
Yeah. But I think that would be interesting to bring in different
I'm just going to Google black I'm going to... Yeah. I know this isn't very PC, but I'm Googling Black Superman.
Well, what else you got to Google?
Remember his name.
Yeah, but I think there are, if you're looking for a different take on Superman, then there are other versions of Superman you can do.
Yes, exactly.
Just like also there's other versions of like Batman. You could do a Dick Grayson Nightwing who then becomes Batman. There's various versions of every character. Like how many Green Lanterns are there? There are other versions you could potentially touch upon. I don't think you necessarily have to do Rocker comes to Earth, he grows up on a farm, he discovers his powers, and etc. and so forth. Like I'm kind of sick of that.
Yes.
More than anything.
Calvin Ellis is his name, I think.
Is it CAL? It's not like Cal as in KAL.
CAL, yeah. He is. He's from the Multiversity, which was that parallel universe, the Grant Morrison one. Yeah. He's also the president of the United States.
Oh, he's that one. Yeah, I was going to say he's the president.
Maybe I'm thinking of isn't there another one?
Yeah, I thought there was another.
I think there's another one.
Yeah. Anyway, just do any version of that or whatever.
Do any version.
Yeah. Anyway, maybe we'll do a video on it and I'll properly research it at some point.
Yes, please.
Now, apparently, trailers for this week are going to be getting Bond, maybe a Wonder Woman, maybe a Black Widow. So I'll be busy, obviously, which is really
Trailer
exciting.
breakdowns, Easter eggs.
But yeah, so I'm kind of really interested to see what this new Bond movie is going to look like. I'm just hoping it's just not like Spectre 2. That's what I'm like. Just don't make that again.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's going to be an interesting week, and I want to see Taskmaster. Some good stuff happening this week.
Oh, he's going to be she is going to be in the Black Widow movie.
The new one. So keep a bloody eye to the grindstone to know what's happening.
An eye to the earstone grindstone. Okay.
That's right, to know what's happening this week for that. Mason, you got a lot of guys in your life?
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know you do, because it's the holiday season coming up. Maybe it's a dad, brother, uncle, maybe a mate you do a potto with. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. You're angling for gifts. I get it now. I understand.
And I know
I see through your ruse.
You know, often guys, they might get a dull, cliched gift like socks, wallets, and ties. Here's a brilliant idea for you. Harry's razors, mate. A gift that's both thoughtful and practical.
Don't pick out a tie for somebody.
No.
It's never the right tie.
Because what do you love about Harry's razors?
I love the pronunciation first.
Yes.
Some people will be like, Harry, I'm just going to go down to the supermarket and get a razor. Don't, get a razor.
That's right.
Harry's razors. But I like the smoothness of the shave.
You know
It's very good. I like how they last a long time.
That's right. Do you know why they last a long time, though? Because
tell me, please.
Well, they're German engineered and award-winning.
Ooh.
And they're backed by 100% quality guarantee. So if your mate that you're getting a bloody razor kit for or whoever, your dad, your potto pal, whatever you want to call it, if they don't love their shave, get a full refund.
Oh.
Holiday sets start at just $20. That's within Secret Santa limits. You know what I mean?
That actually is. It's true.
Big time.
You don't have to be one of those people who's like, well, look, it cost me $100 because I got you the shaving kit. People will be like, that's odd.
Yeah, you've thrown out the
balance and everyone hates you. Exactly.
And Harry's blade refills are as low as $2 each, so your guy will save money over time. So your pod mate, will save money over time.
I see.
Yeah. It also comes in a ready-to-gift handsome holiday gift box. I think it was last year because they sent us one. I gave one to my dad, and he was like, "Thanks for the great gift, son, and I love you again." And you're back in the will.
And you were like, "Excuse me." And then you contemplated for a bit, and you're like, "I'll take it."
That's right. Also, 1% of each sale will be donated to charitable organisations.
That's very nice.
Here's a special offer. Here it is. Get ready. As a special offer for fans of the show, we've partnered with Harry's to give you $5 off any shave set, including their limited edition holiday sets. When you go to harrys.com/weeklyplanet, plus you get free shipping.
That's right. Pumpkin spice razor. Eggnog razor.
A little Santa hat on your razor.
Yeah, nice, good.
Those are joke ones.
Those
just
are
so
joke
people
ones. The
know.
real ones actually work for shaving your face.
Yes. Each Harry's shave set comes with a weighted handle with the option to engrave
Oh, yes.
5 blade razor cartridges, foaming shave gel for a rich lather, travel cover to protect your blades. Can't emphasize enough, it's actually really good. Packaged in a handsome holiday gift box. Free shipping ends on December 16th. Oh my goodness, that's coming up. So act now. Just go to harrys.com/weeklyplanet. That's harrys.com/weeklyplanet. On with the show.
On with the show, yes, please.
Get some razors.
Put some razors on your face-alls.
It's linked below. To mark the release of Irishman, we're going to do a 3.5 hour review.
Oh my god!
We're going to do
minute
an
by
audio
minute
commentary.
Oh my god!
So
you should have recorded that as you were watching it in snippets. My favorites. There's been so many. I'm really just enjoying just memes. You know I love memes.
I know you love memes.
And my favorite reference to The Irishman on Twitter was there was a guy, I'll find it, but it was a guy, he's saying, I'm finally enjoying Martin Scorsese's The Irishman as it was intended. And he's driving down a freeway on a motorbike and it's like mounted in one of those GPS mounts and he's watching it on Netflix. It's so good.
That's terrific. Yeah, because people are doing like Apple Watches and all sorts of things.
Right.
You watched it on your big TV, I assume?
I did watch it on my relatively big TV. At Some Bad Ideas, this guy.
That sounds like a great idea.
Says, shaking my head when you're trying to focus on a 3.5 hour epic about the moral decay of the men of the greatest generation in the longest continuous underwater vehicular tunnel in North America, and others don't have respect for strictly observing the speed limit. It's a really good point. But there are people in his mentions who are like, I hope you know that's very dangerous. He knows. He's not actually.
He's not really
concentrating on the Irishman.
So anyway, after a limited theater release, it I don't know if it came here. If it did, it was
no. I think maybe it would have. If it came anywhere, it'd come to like Cinema Nova or the Astor or like. I'm not sure it made it to like.
I kind of wish I did see it at the cinema though. I feel like it would have been like more immersive.
And it would have been more immersive. And again, if you're paying $20 for it or whatever or more, you are inclined to focus and And I don't know, like, Scorsese going out of his way to saying, certain things are not cinema and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I feel like, has this proven his point that is that part of this, that we can all watch it on our phones or in our homes or in snippets or leave and watch an hour and then come back and watch an hour later?
But that's also how I watch most things.
Right.
Like if I'm at home. Like, because, people are busy.
Sure.
But maybe most people don't have 3.5 hours to just sit down and...
Yeah.
When
but should we have made the time? Are we the fools?
Yeah, look, to be honest, like, also this cost $160 million.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, what did you
Where
think?
did it go? Where did the money go?
De-aging and, like, it's a period piece.
All right, yep.
And
I guess
cast.
it's period piece,
What do you think the story was?
Oh, okay. It's De Niro's a guy, his name's Frank Sheeran.
He's Irish.
He's the Irishman. He's an Irish guy, and he was in World War II and he liked killing people. He didn't like killing people, but he was like, he's okay with killing people.
He seemed to like killing people.
He seems to be okay with killing people, so they call him a house painter because he's like, I hear you paint houses, which is painting houses with people's blood.
Yeah.
And then he gets up.
So imagine a big bucket of blood. He's like, yep.
Yep.
That's not what we meant, Frank.
No, I stored all this blood from all the murders I did in World War II. I loved it. I put them in a pit and I shot them and then took their blood. And I'm like, what do I do with all this blood? I guess I'll paint some houses with it.
Frank, you're not going to get away with this. I don't know about that. Watch me go.
Well, I don't have DNA technology. We can kind of get away with anything. If you don't see me murdering somebody, I kind of got away with it. Anyway, he gets mixed up with some made guys.
Yeah.
Because that's most Martin Scorsese movies.
Yes. This is not Goodfellas or Casino to me.
No, but is it
found
riffing on all of those things?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I think it was most interesting to me in its... I thought it was fine. I
Sure.
thought it got more interesting as it went.
Yes.
I thought it was pretty standard mob stuff for the first 2 hours.
Yes.
But the last hour in particular deals with what happens to a man who used to paint houses.
Sure.
It's a metaphor. He killed people.
Oh, right.
And when all of his friends are suddenly dying or dead.
Yes.
It's the modern day. Nobody gives a shit. It's done.
Well, there's a moment
You're
in it,
contemplating
yeah.
your life. I'm like, maybe that should have been the majority of this movie.
I mean, some spoilers for... No, this isn't a spoiler, I guess, technically, but the framing story of this, it opens on Frank Sheeran in a nursing home.
Yes.
Relaying his story to some people. So
To
you know
Ed
he,
Sheeran.
So you know he's alive now and at the end. So
Yeah.
there's no real tension as to whether this character lives or not. But there's a scene towards the end. He's saying, and this we're talking about Jimmy Hoffa and somebody, and I think it's a nurse is like,
Yeah.
who?
Yeah.
And is that and there are people out there who are like, when Martin Scorsese started talking about, Marvel movies aren't cinema. People are like, well, who's Martin Scorsese?
Yeah,
You know what I
right,
mean?
yeah.
It's kind of...
Which is a ridiculous thing to say.
It is, I mean,
Yeah.
it's true, but I mean...
No, I mean just to be like, I discount all of his work.
No, I know, but I mean, there are literally people who are like,
Yeah.
I don't know who Martin Scorsese is.
Yeah, okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah, who are like, and is this Scorsese being like, well, we all lose relevance eventually, kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it just weird that it's come up at this point where he's said some...
Oh, right. Yeah, that's entirely possible. I thought the slow burn nature of it, I think, because his last movie, which I cannot for the life of me remember. What the hell is it called? Silence.
There we go.
Which is about bringing Christianity to the Japanese.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I really loved it. And I don't know, there was an energy to that this one really lacked. And I think a lot of it is you're painting these 70-year-old guys
Houses.
as houses as 30 to 50.
It's
But
mysterious
it's-
what
but
actors
it's
they
not-
were supposed to be.
It's so strange because and I put one clip on Twitter and it wasn't really kind of to make, because I guess it was to make fun of it because it's a ridiculous beat down Robert De Niro scene.
It's a beatdown scene, and there's a scene in Goodfellas which is
Yeah.
quite similar with the next door neighbor. Like somebody in this one, a shopkeeper shoves the Irishman's daughter,
Yeah.
and so he goes to the shopkeeper and he beats him up.
Yeah.
He drags him out of the shop and he kicks him in the street.
But that is a prime example of how you can change somebody's face.
Yeah,
But when you're 70, 75, you can't change the physicality of a person. It's the same thing with Samuel L. Jackson in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Whenever he's doing an action scene, it's it
Yeah.
doesn't look
I mean,
right.
you can, but that's way more money than
Well, you
is-
need to get a different person.
You need a
to do
double,
it.
or you
Yeah.
need to invest millions of dollars in a scene where he kicks a shopkeeper. So why wouldn't you just
Yeah.
And
The glass breaking and everything. The whole scene
it's not
is
into the
odd.
CGI. I don't think is entirely convincing. It is in some scenes more than others. But you mentioned that the youngified De Niro in this doesn't quite look right.
Well, because he doesn't look like young De Niro.
because he's wider.
He's wider, and because your head changes.
Yeah.
Because if you look at 40-year-old De Niro, if you look at Goodfellas, Casino, Heat,
Yep.
that's what I was expecting to see.
Here's the thing,
And
though.
he's not that.
No, I think
version.
you're right, but I think he looks more Irish with a wider head.
Sure.
He looks,
a big Irish head.
A big Irish head. He looks like he's got a big potato head.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I got a big Irish head.
I know.
So, I found that incredibly inconsistent and distracting.
Sometimes it's quite good. Sometimes it's quite plasticky.
There's things that they didn't really change, old men get watery eyes sometimes.
Yeah.
And when you've got a smoothed out face and old red watery eyes,
Yeah.
it's just
And this is ILM. This is
Yeah.
the but I guess this isn't their I feel like Industrial Light and Magic, when I was growing up was if they're involved, this is going to be seamless. This
but
is
how
gonna
did they do it? Did they take reference footage from the earlier movies, or did they just
did they smooth it out? Did they
That's
use that
what I'm saying.
iPhone?
I
Did
think
they use that iPhone
Yeah,
app?
I think they just smoothed it out
Yeah.
because the way that they often do it is they'll reference old movies and they'll kind of,
Yeah.
like they do with Kurt Douglas and
Michael Douglas.
whatever. One of the Douglases.
What they did is they youthified Michael Douglas by taking an old photograph of old Kirk Douglas
That's right.
and just pasting it over the top. And two negatives
It
make a positive.
It made him look younger by comparison.
yeah. But no, you're right, but I feel like
I was talking about Kurt Russell. They get the hair and
Yeah.
the footage and the references.
Yeah.
And then they're Joe Pesci's like, "Hey kid, what's going on? How old are you? How old is he?"
it's mysterious,
Well, I don't
isn't
understand
it?
because
Yeah.
you look the same age.
I was going to
think.
say because ILM, again, they're known for high quality CG and visual effects and every kind of effect. But I guess this isn't their stock in trade kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if Scorsese's burning his bridges with the people who are the best at this, Marvel, then
Yeah, I mean, because look, it is an incredible cast, and people are saying it's good to see all these guys back, but I feel like they don't have the energy anymore.
Yeah.
I think they've got the energy to do the older versions because I think when they're old and when they're in even older man makeup, there's a moment where Joe Pesci is 90 years old and he's eating bread and he's shaking and it looks genuine.
Yeah.
And the performance is good because he's not doing younger, he's doing his
Yeah.
age or older.
I feel like, and I wonder if this was ever discussed, if there would have been an opportunity to get Leonardo DiCaprio as the young Frank.
I think they should have recast them all.
Yeah,
To
right?
be honest,
Yeah,
genuinely, and then do do them old.
Or can it? I mean, well, it's the thing. Maybe you. Get
I think that would have been way better.
Maybe
Yeah.
a cast. I mean, I guess the dilemma is: do you get a cast of unknowns,
Yeah, right.
And then, but
that's what they did for sort of like The Godfather 2.
Yeah.
They recast what's his name, Brando.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And De Niro doesn't look like
Brando at all. Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So yes,
There
answer
is,
your
but
question.
here's the thing:
yeah.
there is. But I also feel like we've hit that. You know, we talked about a while back. You know, when we talk about Hobbs and Shaw or Fast and Furious or whatever, every actor has a certain list of demands of like, well, I can't be seen as I'm going to get all the actors are like, or even like Bohemian Rhapsody, where it's like, well, all the characters have to get an equal amount of screen time or what have you.
Yeah.
Like, is it a function of we could get younger actors, but De Niro requires a certain amount of screen time, and if you intercut him with a younger actor, that's in breach of his contract or something.
Maybe. And maybe it is distracting because people know him so well. It's like recasting Harrison Ford as Han Solo or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be more distracting.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just found it.
But this is pretty. I mean, if that, if that's a 10, if recasting is a 10 on the level of distracting, then this CGI is a 9.
Yeah,
at least.
absolutely. But if you look at like, I was just thinking about like Taxi Driver again,
Yeah.
Goodfellas. There's that vicious scene, the beatdown in the bar, where they get that guy down and De Niro's just stomping this guy.
I feel like this is actually quite mild.
Yeah, absolutely.
in
Like
terms
there's such an energy to De Niro being that much younger
Yeah, right.
that there just is not here. And
Yeah.
again, I think it works in the back end when they're supposed to be the ages that they are.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's really good then.
But to constantly go back to the scene that you tweeted, when I watched that, if I'd been thrown through a glass door by De Niro, I still feel like I'd have the energy to just scamper out of his way.
Yeah, totally.
But this guy's just like, oh, I'm on the ground. I don't care for this.
And maybe it's like a fear thing as well. But
Yeah,
like
maybe.
the sound effects don't match up. And
Yeah.
it's just an odd scene. Yeah. So
something I liked. I mean, it's worth a watch, I feel.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
You know what I liked? I liked, again, there is a good all-star cast in it for the most part. Anna Paquin's in this. I don't know if anybody noticed she's in this.
I'd forgotten that she
Oscar
was...
winner Anna Paquin.
I'd forgotten she was in it until she turned up at like the 3-hour mark, maybe.
Yeah,
But she's really good as well. Well, Jesse Plemons again, barely in it as
barely
well.
in it.
Yeah.
There's what I'm enjoying. I don't know how much improvising is allowed on set, but I felt a lot of the dialogue. There's just some throwaway dialogue in some of the scenes in this movie. There's a scene where Jesse Plemons' character is like apologizing. Everybody gets in a car and he has to apologize because he had to pick up a fish for someone. You know, it was a frozen fish and it thawed and it made the seats wet. And there's this conversation about why didn't you? What kind of fish was it?
Yeah.
Why didn't you clean it up?
What's wrong with you?
The car's always going to smell
Never
like
put a
fish.
fish in the car.
There's a scene.
I liked that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some scenes about like Pacino, who plays Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah.
He's very concerned about time and being on time.
Oh, I love... If you love a movie about Pacino being very particular about when people do or do not
Yes.
show up for a meeting, then you are going to love this.
Yeah. There's
10 minutes is too long, but 5 minutes is good enough, and maybe I've accounted for traffic, and
Yep.
it's
that's
rude of you,
there's
I was here early, and...
yeah. There's a character who the actor whose name I cannot recall, but he's in Snatch. He plays Tommy in Snatch, and he was Al Capone, I think, in Boardwalk Empire, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
yeah.
he is a British actor, I think, who's
Yes,
sort of
he
carved
is.
out a niche. He's like as a kind of a mob guy. He's done a lot of mob roles, and he plays the rival union boss, who he and Jimmy Hoffa have a rivalry, and I think he's great in this.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree, yeah. Because he's the age that he is.
He's the age that he is, and he's playing the age that he is. Yeah.
It also does a thing where I felt there's Casino. One of the things I don't like about the movie Casino,
Yes.
and this movie does it.
Is it Robert De Niro's many salmon-colored suits?
No, I like that a lot.
That's great.
But they often start referencing and montaging things that, and it's this more so that are irrelevant and they don't really factor into the story. It's like, it's like...
Also, just side note, here's us criticizing Martin Scorsese.
Oh, yeah, look, again, I don't think there's a movie of his I don't like except for Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
Which I really don't like.
I should rewatch Gangs of New York.
Yeah,
maybe we
I'll
should
like
both
it, mate.
rewatch Gangs of New York.
You know, it's like what they were doing. They were getting the money from Jimmy the Fix, and Jimmy the Fix had to throw it over to Johnny No Legs, who kept it in the safe before Sammy Two Ears showed up, and he was like, they shot him, and it's just like, what is this? Who cares?
Right.
Just it went from here to here to here or whatever.
And again, I have a theory about that, which is that Martin Scorsese knows a lot of made guys, like real mob guys,
Yeah.
and he's promised them all minor roles in all of his movies. And he
Yeah.
has to get through all of them. So he's like, do you want a scene where you get handed an envelope full of money and then you walk across the street and you hand the envelope of money to another guy?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll do it. Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's.
Yeah.
I just find that stuff really like. I know maybe it's a callback or a throwback, but it's just like we don't. This I don't know. Again, what am I saying? It's fucking Martin Scorsese. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I just found it so interesting. The back end of this guy's life.
Yeah.
And I don't even think he regrets what he's done necessarily because he's clearly not that sorry. He just doesn't want to die.
He's done a lot of murders.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to die, and he's sad that nobody likes him because he sucks.
Right.
You know, and I think that's really interesting
Yeah.
because I don't think he had a problem with killing anybody. I think he was that kind of guy, but he still has these regrets because his family hate him.
And I feel like a lot of people are potentially not going to get to that last hour.
Yeah, right.
Because it is a lot of Johnny No Legs.
Yeah.
Passing an envelope of cash.
Sure.
If we're doing Martin Scorsese's
I hate
editing,
doing this because
me
there's
too.
no way I could make anything anywhere near as
No, but
good
I
as
mean,
this.
here's the thing, though. Here's maybe something we know that Martin Scorsese doesn't know, is that we all have the attention spans of goldfish at this point, and we know how Netflix works. And I
Yes.
don't think Martin Scorsese knows how Netflix works, and that people have 10,000 other options.
Yeah.
Could this have benefited more from more flashbacks not flashbacks to more present day stuff
Yeah.
of Frank being an old man and people not caring about his life?
Absolutely, definitely.
Like-
And then minor flashbacks because there is like a World War II flashback. It's
Yeah.
maybe a minute. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's really effective.
Yeah, yeah.
Because first of all, you don't really see the de-aging and he's supposed to be like 24
Yeah,
or
right,
whatever.
because he's got a helmet on.
He's got a helmet on for the most, but it's right over his face. And
It's on backwards.
It's on backwards, and you get an idea of what kind of man he is immediately.
Yeah.
And then all the vicious kind of stuff he does from there because he's so slow, and you can see their old hands and the
yeah.
kind of hunch and the way you notice it when they're going up and down stairs and things like that.
Yeah, right.
And he's clearly wearing stilts for like the big shoes for a lot of it, which we know from the.
Yes.
Yeah, it's.
Set photos, yeah.
Yeah, so whatever the thing you said is yes. In
Yeah,
the answer
right.
to your question.
I mean, if that is what this movie is about, I guess all of the Scorsese mob movies are about like, well, people do bad things and redemption is just kind of out of reach, and people are often like, well, I kind of regret some of the stuff I did,
Yeah.
but now it's too late because I'm in jail or I got blown up.
Yes. Yeah.
Most of these movies are about that, but if this movie is like a left turn from that, and it's like, well, because we never like with Goodfellas and with Casino and those ones, we don't really see that much about
Like the end of
the
day.
end of the
Yeah.
life and somebody who survived all this the bloodshed and mayhem or whatever. What did their lives turn into? And I think that is maybe the most interesting part of like what happens to a sad old guy and like he's got all this stuff and people are like, whatever, old man, who cares about this
Yeah.
Jimmy Hoffa guy you're talking about? I don't care.
And it kind of makes me think about the end of Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Where Ray Liotta's character, who crushes it in that movie, by the
Yeah,
way.
right.
Ray Liotta's amazing in that movie.
Ray Liotta's not back in this,
Not-
even
well,
for a minute.
No. It doesn't really do this kind of stuff.
No, I guess that's
anymore,
true, yeah.
You know, he's a suburban guy. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
I'm not saying I want a Goodfellas sequel because I certainly do not.
Right.
But like it did make me think
Even
about
better fellas.
Yeah, that's right. No, not as good fellas. Yeah,
Yep.
but I did make me think about like
On fleek, fellas. What's a current reference? I
Right.
don't even know.
Dabbing fellas.
Dab fellas. TikTok fellas.
But what happened to that guy? And again, I don't want to
Yeah.
see it, but it made me
Yeah.
think about there's so much that you could explore
Yeah.
in that. I know there's a movie I've been meaning to watch for years, which is about the final years of Sherlock Holmes, where he's got one more case, and it's Ian McKellen. He's like 95 years old.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's supposed to be great. I have it. I've been meaning to watch it, but I think I'm just hitting the same drum here. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's wildly inconsistent, but also I wonder if that last hour would have worked if I hadn't seen the 2 hours.
That's what I'm
prior.
talking about. What
Yeah.
do you cut? If
Well,
you want this to be a breezier watch, what do you cut out?
It's not the breeziness of it
Yeah.
because I wasn't like, oh my god, this is fucking excruciating.
I did.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I guess there were moments.
No,
but
I maybe I didn't initially, but I think I got to
it
like
definitely sags in the middle.
I got
Yeah.
to like 1:18 left, like an hour, and I remember distinctly like 1 hour and 18 left, and then I watched it for a really long time, and then I paused it for a second and it had like 1 hour 10 left, and I'm like, what happened? What's going on? I don't understand.
Yeah.
We should have a segment called "We Fix a beloved auteurs movie.
By just cutting some stuff
Just
out.
cut some stuff out. What do we cut out of this idiot's movie? But I guess...
But what if it was
But
like...
what beloved auteurs are really left, I
Yeah.
guess?
Nolan, I guess.
I guess we'd have to go back to some old stuff and be like, what do we cut out of this?
But I think, can you imagine if it was leaner and faster and more vicious? And then when he's old, I think that's more of an interesting contrast because he's not that different when he's 90 to when he's supposed to be 40.
Yeah, right.
You know? Like when you see a guy, prime of his life, stomping a man's head in,
Yeah.
and then he's in a nursing home and he's all like, the nurses are being friendly and nice to him. That's weird. You know what I mean?
is
like
weird.
it's strange.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
What's with, is fucking wine and bread a thing? Because I'm pretty confident it isn't.
Don't understand.
I mean, I know you...
Scarpetta is a thing.
Yeah,
you've
sure.
got a pasta sauce.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you put the bread in there, and
Get
you're like,
that happening.
get that. Oh, I don't want to waste this sauce. Yum yum
know
yum.
it, yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's probably a Catholic thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but I figured it's some kind of reference like that. Also, he's not very Irish, is he? If we're honest.
He's barely. No, exactly.
De Niro might be Irish, I don't know. But.
If you were like, all right, look away from the screen. Don't look at his big potatoey Irish head. Listen to his dialogue. Where's he from?
Which one of these guys is Irish?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we haven't really done spoilers, but I don't really have anything to say in terms of
I don't
spoilers.
think there is anything to spoil. I mean, again, we know the main character lives to the modern era.
Yeah.
Jimmy Hoffa is a Teamster union boss.
Yes.
Who famously disappeared. I feel so. The circumstances of his disappearance are explored in this.
Yeah.
Or are they? Like, is this an unreliable narrator who's like?
Yeah, I guess you'd have to look at the real story, which I'm not really familiar with. Yeah.
Well, no one knows. That's
no
the
one
thing.
does know. It's that prime minister that drowned in Australia.
Harold Holt.
Situation.
Picked up by a submarine.
So they say.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't see how. You can't open a submarine underwater.
They do it Terminator Salvation
I was
style.
about to say, yeah. But I was in the future.
Right. I don't know.
It wasn't a
do we
19
have more to say about Martin Scorsese's The
I mean,
Irishman?
I'll 100% watch the next thing he's doing as well.
Yeah, right.
I really like Wolf of Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked Silence, Goodfellas, Casino. You know.
Yeah. There was
Yeah.
less. I feel. The spoils of war, kind of like.
Oh, like really reveling in the.
Yeah, because I guess.
Because it was.
Because that's not. I guess that's not what The Irishman's about. He's just like, I want to provide for my family or what have you. But like these kind of movies often are like, I'm in a casino and there's cash raining on me and diamonds and I'm throwing diamonds on Sharon Stone or whatever. You know?
She doesn't like it. They're sharp, but I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it regardless. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Best movie.
Best
ever,
movie
I
ever.
guess.
Look,
Yeah.
it's 100. Look, this movie from renowned auteur Martin
Yeah.
Scorsese is definitely worth a watch.
If that back end stuff about regret and old age appeals to you, you stick through it. I would
Yeah.
say, but
I wonder if there's a weird edit order you could do it in to make it seem more like. Could you watch the back end first somehow?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll probably not watch this again.
Yeah. Right. Fair enough.
Would you watch this again?
Okay. Could you, as an option, not watch this movie again?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that's.
right. Cool. All right.
Would you not watch
Do
it
you
as
think
a
there's
movie
an
again?
editing order where you could just simply not watch the film?
What would that look like?
Could you simply listen to our review again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would actually be really interested in what people think of this.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people loving it, but I am seeing people who are like, "Oh, it's boring and it sucks and it's." But and bloody what's his name? Scorsese who or whatever, you know?
Robert De Niro who?
Robert De Niro.
Harvey Keitel who?
Robert De Niro. No.
Oh yeah, nice, got him.
Thank you.
Got him.
Oh yeah, Harvey Keitel's in this.
Yep.
Forgot that. I was like, oh my god, Harvey Keitel's. Oh, he's not really in this. Ray Romano's good in this.
Yeah, he's the sort of the mob lawyer.
Yeah.
Not a mob lawyer, he's a union lawyer.
He's a mob lawyer.
He's a mob lawyer.
Let's not beat around the bush. Mm-hmm. He's good in this. I did like at the end, I guess this is a spoiler, that they're like, he's like, call my lawyer. And he's like, everyone's dead, idiot. Everyone you know is dead. Just tell us what went on. He's like, I won't do it. I won't do it.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
I won't give you no names.
Yeah,
We don't. Yeah.
exactly.
Well, you can give us the name of all the dead people, which is everyone.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Because actually, there was a thing kind of happening where like they'd show a guy and then they'd flash up on screen, shot in the head in this year, had a heart attack in this year. And I'm like, why are they doing this? Who cares?
Right.
But then obviously it's because by the time you get to the end, it's like, oh, that's showing that all these people are just slowly being whittled away from his life.
I guess that's
until
true,
it's
but
just him.
also...
I was thinking like, how many of these guys did he kill?
Right.
Yeah.
But also, I guess you don't really many of these characters are just kind of background characters.
Yeah.
Like for the 3 hours we get, like the two plus hours, in the past, we don't really see him with that many friendships.
Yeah.
So the fact that some guy got whacked or he got shot or hanged or whatever,
Yeah.
or shivved 19 times in the head or whatever.
Cool.
It doesn't feel like that much of a loss.
Yeah.
Like if he had some genuine friendships in that era,
Yeah.
and then we see that character killed.
I mean, I guess there is that.
Yeah.
There's that one that happens.
Yeah, right,
It's like
uh-huh.
a genuine one, but
Uh-huh.
yeah. Because, yeah, that's actually one thing about Goodfellas is when the people around and close to him die, it affects the Ray Liotta character,
Yeah.
like, greatly. And
Yeah,
that
yeah.
changes the course of his life.
Yeah,
Whereas
because they were
this-
good fellas.
Because they were good mates and
Friend fellas.
Friend fellas. Best fellas.
Best fellas.
They all used to kiss when the cameras turned off.
That's
That's a
great.
little behind the scenes.
Oh, that's nice. That's
acting
really
for you.
that's
Yeah,
good.
it's
That's great.
So they're Italian.
Yeah, no, I get it.
One of them's maybe Irish. All right, the next segment.
Yeah, what we reading?
What we gonna read?
Oh my goodness.
I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today?
I was going to say contained within this segment, obviously, what we read, and I think it's now a regular feature, is our feature, who watches the TV show Watchmen, parentheses, James and Meso, asterisk, Weekly Planet podcast.
It's a good show.
If somebody could knock that up in the Watchmen font,
Please.
that would be really good.
Yeah. Also, do you reckon we should edit this into a spin-off podcast, just a 4-minute podcast of us going? Yeah, it was good. I think I
It was
liked
pretty
the last
good.
one.
It was good, yeah. I like the last one.
The squid wasn't in that
The
one.
squid,
but I
it's
liked
good.
it.
This one. So the
Do you want
most.
to talk about Watchmen up top? then?
Yes.
Okay. Spoilers for the last episode of Watchmen.
Yeah, right.
Here we go.
It's gone in some good directions.
You called the.
I did call this one, yeah.
He was Hood of Justice.
It was African American all
Yeah.
along.
That was really. I really like that because I saw the trailer for the next episode and it's like it's a trip down memory lane. I'm like, boo! I don't want to trip down memory lane.
Why don't you want to trip down memory lane?
Because prequels, man.
Okay, right. Okay,
But
sure.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I thought every episode seems to really build really well off the last one.
Yeah, and everyone has an interesting
I mean,
take.
as TV should, I guess.
Yes. This is an example of competently made television. Competently made serialized narrative.
Yeah.
What a twist.
What a twist.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought, like, what an interesting way to, like, enact justice in a way that won't have people come after you in that era.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like it would have been a necessity, not just, like, in this universe, but if a similar thing happened now.
Yeah,
Like, it
right.
just wouldn't happen that way. You know what I mean? And that they explore the relationship between him and
Captain Metropolis.
Captain Metropolis, and he doesn't believe him about the cult and the whatever and
Uh-huh.
all that. Yeah, I just thought it was great.
Yeah.
What about you?
And there's some, some revelations as to how the present day version of him, who is in a wheelchair, managed to hang the police chief.
Yes.
We just got him to hang himself with a hypnotic strobe light.
I thought it was also interesting that maybe he wasn't a clan member, but he's clearly got clan ties because he's kept this thing.
Yeah, right,
But I'm like,
uh-huh.
what? Why would you have
Why would you
that?
keep the? Well, that's a.
That'd be like keeping your grandpa's Nazi uniform.
Why do they keep all the Confederate statues up? I don't know.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I just
What do you think it's going from here? We didn't get any Ozymandias this episode.
no. Well, next
They're
episode
all
we
they're all
definitely do,
kind of
yeah.
self-contained.
Yeah.
We get what is interesting to me is a lot of these episodes are kind of self-contained.
Yeah.
But it all does feel like a larger narrative. Or I'm not like, well, this is disjointed and weird.
It
Like
feels
all,
like we're heading for a cliffhanger though.
at the end of the season. Yeah, oh yeah, for
like
sure.
it'll be the return of Dr. Manhattan or Ozymandias will be back or there'll be a second squid.
Oh, no.
2 squid.
Do you think clones might be the new squid? You know what I'm talking about? Clones?
Like a delicious dish. Clones of the new squid.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You
Yeah,
go to
yeah.
a fish and chip shop and
And they
get
make
some battered clones.
they deep fry a portion of your own clone flesh and you eat it like
Delightful.
a crepe.
Maybe.
I don't know because like Lady True has some kind of
Something's
cloning
going
technology.
on, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else on this? Do you want to talk about The Mandalorian?
Yeah.
It was all right.
Wait, our famous segment. Who watches the TV show The Mandalorian?
James and Mason.
Asterisk Weekly Planet
Asterisk Weekly
Podcast.
Planet.
If somebody could make that in
Yeah.
the Star Wars font
Please.
or in an opening crawl,
Yes.
I would appreciate it.
This felt like a very expensive episode of, say, like Walker Texas Ranger,
Xena
or
Warrior Princess.
anything like that.
Yeah.
But also those tropes obviously go way back to like like your Seven Samurais and
Yeah, I mean, I
what-
guess there is
yeah.
kind of it's very much, if you were on board with this show generally, you'd be like, oh, this is a throwback to classic
Yeah.
hero storytelling techniques. But if you are not, you'd be like, well, this is quite formulaic in the sense that, I mean, spoilers for The Mandalorian.
Yes.
He goes to the town and he's initially hesitant because he's all about duty and being the Mandalorian and Mandalorian about the universe or what have you. But then he finds that it's a place he really could settle down and enjoy. But then there's trouble. But then he learns to maybe he falls in love with the widower, the beautiful widower that lives there.
Cool.
But also, and then he solves all the problems, and then maybe it is time to settle down. Except they found him and he has to go. Like it feels like this idea that the only reason he's turning around and thinking about settling down is because narratively we know he can't.
Yes.
Because we know that there's something that's immediately
the
going to
rest
show
of the
up.
series isn't going to be him farming.
Exactly, yeah.
Great inclusion of the AT-ST as like this monster in the woods. It actually, the whole thing reminded me of Battle for Endor, that Ewok movie.
Yeah, because they got a
there's like a gang of marauders and
there's a gang of peaceful villagers who've got to learn to fight.
It's very which again, it still calls back to whatever and whatnot. But Gina Carano I thought was really great.
She's good.
I hope she shows up again as opposed to.
Have you seen Haywire? I think we
Haywire.
talk about it every time.
But they dubbed her voice in that apparently, and this she's better.
Yeah,
I assume.
I'm going to look her up very quickly because I'm not really sure what she's been in other than those.
Probably
two
a
things.
Fast and Furious movie.
She's probably been in a Fast and Furious movie because Ronda Rousey was in 7.
Yes, she's in Deadpool.
Oh, she is too. Yeah, that's right.
She's good in Deadpool.
Yeah. Mixed martial arts record: 7 wins, 3 by knockout, 1 by submission, 3 by decision.
Oh.
1 loss by knockout.
Probably the last fight.
Notable relatives at Glenn Carano. He's got his own Wikipedia page. I'll check out that later.
Open a tab.
Anyway, blah, 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 television and film career. She was at cameo in Kill Bill Volume 1. She's a witness at the wedding.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. But there's no footnote there. Can't click on it. She was in a cult film called The Ring Girls. She's in Command and Conquer Red Alert 3.
With Tim Curry?
I hope so.
See in that one?
Where they go to the one place capitalism can't touch, outer space. She's in a Michael J. White film, Blood and Bone, in 2009. She's in Haywire, In the Blood, an action thriller directed by John Stockwell. She signed on as lead in an all-female ensemble action film described as the female version of Expendables.
Oh, I remember that.
She's in Fast and Furious 6.
Oh, she is?
She's on The Rock's team before he joins the Fast and Furious team.
Does she betray him or anyone? Doesn't matter. Keep reading.
No, she fights Michelle Rodriguez, though.
Oh, okay.
In July 2013, she and comic book creator Rob Liefeld announced they were working on a big screen adaptation of Liefeld's Evangeline. Now, if you don't know Evangeline was like prime 90s...
it's like Barbarella.
Yeah, like
Stripperella,
she was like she was like Fallen Angel kind of character, but she was in that prime era of female depictions in comic books where they had like the
martini glass waist.
Yeah, the martini glass waist and like the big boobs and the big butt, and every shot of the character was like as that super weird cheesecake where they're like snapped, like they're twisted so you can see their boobs and their butt at the same time. You know that shot?
Yeah.
And then he's got a big sword or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Great stuff.
Anyway, that doesn't seem to have happened.
Yeah.
She's in Deadpool. There we go.
They did a test footage and she got a severe injury from doing that pose. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, good for her.
Good for her. Yeah. Anyway, I really liked her in this, and I hope she comes back because a lot of these characters kind of zip in and zip out. I wonder whether he's building a ragtag team.
Yeah, right. So
like at the end, he's got
Gina Carano.
Gina Carano's got Carl Weathers. He's got an IG-88 version or whatever.
I think they'll put him back together. Put his head back together.
Or another version. There's millions of those things.
The Kindly Widow.
Nah.
No, she can shoot. Come on.
I know, but it's love. So
okay, right.
I think he might be assembling a ragtag team.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Glenn Carano was on the Dallas Cowboys.
Excellent.
Which is a football team. Someone on...
Was it just a set of Cowboys?
It was some Dallas Cowboys. Somebody on the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group.
Who?
I'm going to find out. Had a theory. Well, not a theory, but was basically... wouldn't it be good if the Mandalorian was revealed to be a lady?
Right.
How good would that be?
Oh, man,
people would Samus Aran it. They Samus Aran it from Metroid.
I would be shocked.
Yeah, right.
They've clearly cast a man.
Pedro Pascal,
yeah.
But I mean...
You can alter the voice or whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Voice modulator. And people are like, well, it's not a lady... It's not a very Lady Arbor, is it?
Phasma.
Yeah,
it's not a lady.
That's what I'm talking
either,
about. Yeah. They're like, well, we've seen a lady version of it because there's a the blacksmith is a lady and she's wearing lady armor.
Can't be two ladies.
But that's what I'm saying. But I mean, like, some people dress in a more in the real world,
Yeah.
some people can dress like and in different ways. I don't know if you're aware of that.
I
People can
don't
dress
believe you.
Yeah.
I saw Ben, who edits a lot of great stuff, including Caravan and Garbage, comment on a tweet that was like, "I can't believe that the only person who could shoot in the village turned out to be the woman. Like, why is she the only one? Where did she learn to shoot?"
Uh-huh. People learn to shoot places.
What do you want, a fucking mini series about where she learned to shoot?
Yes.
Yeah. God. Anyway.
Oh, I'm fired up for Kindly Widow. The Kindly Widow Mandalorian font.
But also,
Boom.
those people
Boom,
don't.
boom, boom, boom.
Those, people like that don't want a Kindly Widow explain a
that's very
series of
true,
why
yeah.
they could
Yeah.
shoot anyway. Anyway, all
But
great.
I think also people don't know that apparently that Samus Aran, the big reveal that Samus Aran in Metroid was a woman.
Isn't
in the
that
first,
generally loved?
Yeah, I think
That
so.
reveal? People
Yeah.
like that reveal.
People
right?
blow their minds.
Are we going to say people already knew?
No, a lot of people didn't know.
Yeah.
No, a lot of people now don't know that was a big reveal at the time.
Oh, yes,
like it's commonly
yes,
known
yes.
that she's a woman in the modern games, but I think
Well, I think it's one of those things that I always, because I saw it in a Nintendo magazine or whatever,
you're
so
right.
I always knew, yeah. Also, though, if we're talking about what we're reading, what we're going to read,
Yes.
Chip Zdarsky, Jason Liu with colours by Paris Aline. They've worked together on a Comixology exclusive comic called Afterlift, which is basically an Uber driver who's tasked with taking somebody to the underworld. And it's a
that's
couple
fun.
issues in, and it's, I mean,
Okay.
all those people involved are good, and I
Uh-huh.
think it's definitely worth a read if you like comics about, I mean, old law versus bloody millennial tech. Mason, you're gonna love Afterlift. You like Chip Zdarsky?
I do like
don't you?
Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I watched on YouTube. It was Scarlett Johansson and Chris Evans
Interview each other or whatever?
Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris Evans recently was in a play called Lobby Hero.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's relevant to anyone, but I just thought that was interesting.
Is it-
It's a security guard in his late 20s, his strict supervisor, an overbearing cop, and his rookie female partner. Set in the foyer of a middle-income Manhattan apartment building in the middle of the night.
Okay, there you
That's
go.
fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like Chris Evans.
I do too.
Why don't you marry him?
Is he already married?
I don't think he is. He's married to his dogs.
Good for him.
He loves dogs,
Oh
Mason.
my goodness.
Yeah,
That's really good.
not in a weird way, I assume.
Okay, right.
Anything else?
I like that Mandalorian theme.
Yeah, it's good.
But again, can't recall it off the top
Same
of my
guy
head.
who scored Community.
Ah.
Yeah.
there you
Which
go.
I'm actually rewatching at the moment.
How's that going?
It's good. It's actually, I'd forgotten, like, I was kind of like, is that good? It still holds up. I mean, it's still dated because it's like, it started like 10 years ago, but there's a lot of funny stuff in there.
Nice. I love funny stuff.
Magnitude. Incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's about it, I reckon. Should we do letters?
Yeah.
Let's talk about letters.
The classic one was letters, oh letters.
Good speaker on
we
that.
Love you. Some letters, they're only a day away. I know they're here right now. We're gonna do letters.
It's got 11,000 views.
That can't be right.
No, it is because it's on
Have
YouTube.
we, have we
obviously.
done 11,000 shows?
We've done 11,000 episodes.
That
Yeah,
actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
now that I
yeah.
think about it. Hey, if you want to reach the show, hashtag Weekly Planet Pod on Twitter or shoot a email over to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com.
Shoot our email.
Shoot an email.
That's our new call to action. Shoot our email.
Shoot an email.
No, shoot our email.
Shoot our email.
Yes.
Is that what I said, or is that what you said?
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Shoot
what-
our email.
Well, I'm saying it too. Then,
Okay,
if you're
good.
saying it, I'm
Great.
on board. Yes, and Mason.
Thank you.
If you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Go first. I've
Okay.
got one right here.
It's from Spud Bear says, "What's the best live action Joker design? Not characterization or performance, but just the way they look. Live action.
Yep.
Is it Cesar Romero for you?
That's a really good question.
We've talked
It's
about it
not.
before, but I like elements of the Jared Leto one. Everything but the tattoos, I really like.
Yeah,
about
I
that.
like it as well.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he's not strictly in a costume. He's
Yeah.
just wearing really garish,
Yeah.
like gold tuxedos or whatever. He
Yeah.
looks like Mickey Rourke just
Yes.
walking down the street. I don't know if you've ever seen Mickey Rourke in his daily life.
I
It's all
absolutely have.
snakeskin shoes
Oh.
and tuxedo jackets in the
He's
daytime.
got it going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I genuinely like that design.
Yeah.
And I also like that when he went to rescue Harley Quinn, he put on white tie and tails because it was very nice. It was like a special occasion.
That is nice, yeah.
Yeah. I like Jack Nicholson's version.
I don't.
Well, I like
I
him.
like everything but the face.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I like the suits and the guns and the weird
I actually
stuff,
like
yeah.
his look more when he's just Jack Napier.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because it's meant to be reminiscent of his character in Chinatown. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Well, then you must love the movie Chinatown.
I do like the movie
Are they
Chinatown.
doing a prequel to that or something?
Oh.
Yeah.
China, just a couple of shops on a street that isn't quite finished yet. Empty street town.
I'd
What's
watch-
going to be built here?
Did you see
a town?
Did you see the sequel to that?
The Two Jakes, yes.
Yeah, not good, right? You still got that bandage?
No, he's the injury to his face has healed by the time
Very
of the
good.
two Jakes.
Did they write that into the movie because he had an actual injury in
I
real
don't know.
life?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, anyway.
I can tell you that his father was in the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't believe you.
No, it's probably for the best.
Like like a group of cowboys?
Mm.
Yeah, I mean Ledger obviously as well was really good.
Oh yeah, no, actually that design I like a lot.
I like the weird suit. I like the way the makeup kind of rots off over the course of
Yeah.
the movie, like he's just slept in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people have pointed out to me that speaking of Joker, you can't just put green dye in your hair because it'd come out.
Yeah.
He would have had to bleach his hair
Yeah,
first.
he would have. Yeah, because his hair's dark, so it
Yeah.
wouldn't
Also,
come
I hate
through.
that design. I don't like any aspect of it. I don't like his big underpants.
I don't mind the suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's kind of Caesar Romero.
You know, I like Ledger's design a lot, except for the tie, which I think is incongruous with the rest of the outfit.
But do you think that's
What you come here for. Insights about the tie.
But isn't that to annoy you specifically?
I think it is kind of to annoy me specifically.
Yeah.
I think Christopher Nolan, because if you've seen Christopher Nolan,
Yeah.
like a lot of his characters dress like him.
Yes.
Like in characters Inception and whatever, dress like Christopher Nolan. And I think maybe that is designed to annoy specifically people
like
who
you
dress like
and
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair
Son
enough.
of a bitch, Christopher
What a son
Nolan.
of a bitch. Do you want to read a letter out?
Yes, I do. This is from Looper Ward.
I think they've all got good stuff about
Yeah, I
them.
think so too, yeah.
I was serious about the Caesar Romero thing. I think that totally works for that era.
Also, I like
Yeah.
that Heath Ledger's version has a coat full of hand grenades.
Yeah, that's
fun.
terrific. At all times, do you reckon?
Yeah, pretty much, I
Potentially.
reckon. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if somebody shoots him in the wrong spot, he's done, and he's okay
Oh,
with
my
that.
goodness.
This is from a guy named Looper Ward.
Love it.
He says, "My name is Looper." That's the subject.
Is that it? Is that the whole email?
Yeah, that's it. My name is Looper. Is it short for something?
Yeah, Luposity.
Email back, Looper. I want to know what the origin of your name is. This can't be a nickname, surely.
Looperandom. Looperandom?
Nope, doesn't work. My name is Looper, so your last episode was very enjoyable, if not kind of weird, like when you said Looper juices. I did not like the Looper movie, but my question to you would be, if you had a movie with your name as the title, what genre would you want it to be, and would you prefer it to be really bad or really good? Also, can I be the official Looper of the podcast?
Bad. Bad movie.
You want a bad movie with the name James?
Mr. Sunday Movies. The
Oh,
movie.
no. Oh, no.
Oh, there's plenty of bad movies
no.
with that bloody title in it, buddy.
Oh,
Am I right?
my goodness. Are you going to go nostalgia critic
I don't know.
style? Are you going to fund your own movie?
I'm going to do it, yeah.
Nice. And it's all the wacky adventures of us.
And I saved the universe at the end. or
Oh, my
whatever,
goodness.
yeah.
That's exciting.
But
Now, it has to be a movie called James.
yeah.
When you think of a movie
A movie called James sounds like a serious movie about a guy who becomes the president or something.
No, that sounds like a Kevin Kline movie where he accidentally becomes
Oh,
president.
that's
that
true.
sounds whimsical to
No,
me.
it might be a bit whimsical. But like if it was Jimmy, then it would be like, or Jim.
About Jimmy Hoffa.
Like that
Be
would
another movie
yeah.
about Jimmy
You
Hoffa.
can change James where it kind of changes like the context.
Well, what do most people call you? James, surely.
I get a mix, but James mostly, yeah.
Okay, it has to be a movie called James.
Yes. Just
See, I think
boring-ass
I think it
James.
would be about a president. I think.
Yeah.
Like it'd be humanizing whatever president was called James, whichever one. I'm sure there was one. James Patterson.
McAllister.
James McAllister.
James McPatterson.
I'm going to look up President. I'm not going to. There's a president called James. I'm sure.
Okay, so it's a very serious movie about a president.
But
called-
it's bad.
yeah, but it's bad. It's one of those ones where it's like it's so earnest and like Oscar bait, but it's terrible.
It's one of those ones where the previous year somebody made a similar movie
Yes.
and it got some Oscar bait. So a bunch of idiots
Yeah,
with too much money,
exactly.
more money than sense, were like, let's make it. It's like, remember when
It's like that Nixon movie.
Yeah, it's like, when Walk Hard skewered all the music
Yes.
biopics, and now you watch one of those and you're like, oh, this is terrible.
This is Walk Hard.
It's somebody made a parody of like a president biopic, and this is the movie that came after
Came
it.
out next,
so it's
yeah.
really earnest and
Absolutely.
it's terrible.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Mason though, would you go Mason or would you go full name?
We go
Because I
Nicholas
think
Mason.
Nick Mason is like an action hero name.
Yeah.
Kind of like whatever the guy's name in
Well,
The
I mean, it's that,
Equalizer is.
but I mean, that's there's The Secret Life of Nick
That is
Mason,
true.
or The
Yeah.
Second Life of
How
Nick
often
Mason.
do you get tweeted that?
Every day, but I haven't read it, and I shan't read it. They're going to turn it into a movie as well.
Are they really?
I don't know, probably. And then I'm going to get
What
it
is that?
forever.
Like a spy novel? Like an
It's about
espionage thing?
no, it's about a guy, and he had a deep dark past, and he gets, I think he's like a criminal, and he gets released from prison early, and then like under mysterious circumstances
Yeah,
by
right.
some crime guy, and he's like, I've released you early so you can do crimes, and he's like, but I don't want to do crimes.
I want a second life of
Exactly.
me, Nick Mason.
That's right.
Yeah, cool.
So I'd go-
Podcaster. It is you.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but if it was, I don't know. I feel like it'd like Walk Hard, like in an Equalizer, like a John Wick. I feel like it's that kind of name.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I feel like that's the kind of thing it would be.
If it were just Mason,
Like a revenge thing, but
Yeah.
also you've got a heart of gold. So like you think you're a little bit past your prime. You're in it.
okay, good. Oh, good.
You've got a deep dark past.
Yep.
And you've had some tragedy.
I'm wearing the stilt shoes.
Yeah, you've had the but
I'm staggering around the neighborhood, just shuffling.
something happens, like somebody, like a local kid gets kidnapped, and you have to.
Okay.
You,
Hush it up.
no, you have to.
But I'm conflicted about it. I'm conflicted about it the whole time.
Let's say you're hired for like private security for like there's someone who owns a shop in the street. Their
Okay.
kid gets
All right.
kidnapped, and then you have to go after.
I was just thinking it'd be about a guy who like makes a thing out of stone.
That's not
Makes
very.
like paves a driveway or something.
Paves a driveway. Larry
Yeah.
Bird did that. He wrecked his back doing it.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did. He,
Wow.
he like concreted his dad's driveway and ruined his back.
Larry Bird,
Larry Bird,
the basketball player.
Yes.
He paved his own dad's driveway.
yes. And not
Pre-basketball or after
like
basketball?
during when he was playing.
Huh.
It was one of those hard-working kind of like southern kind of dudes. He still is.
Do you think that's a mini game in like the Jordan versus Bird video game? There's a depending on which character you pick,
Yeah.
like halfway through, Michael Jordan plays golf badly, and
Baseball.
whatever,
Yeah.
and Larry Bird paves his dad's driveway, and it's a Tetris style game.
Oh, terrific.
It's like imagine Tetris,
Yeah.
but it's like a swirl, like a wavy driveway,
okay, yeah.
and tiles come down, and you've got
And you got to crook back.
a crook back, yeah, exactly.
And then when you play the second half of the game, you're injured.
You've got like you're bent over, and like if you move too fast, like lightning bolts come out of your
Yeah,
back.
that's right. I would like to see an NBA Jam style game where Larry Bird paves a driveway. It's just ridiculous over
Yeah.
the top, and yeah, it's
Sometimes
always
it's like he's on fire,
Yeah.
and you just like pave.
concrete mix, and it's just
Yeah,
like,
nice.
Anyway, the Larry Bird video game, in answer to whatever this question
Yep,
was.
I paved my dad's driveway.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Look, I like your one also.
Thanks. This is from AJ Valente. Says
Oh, yeah.
#WeeklyPlanetPod. I'd like to hear what your favourite mockumentaries are. Mine currently is Wellington Paranormal, which I've never seen.
That's a good show.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it linked to the other Wellington supernatural Taika Waititi movie? It's not,
What We
is
Do
it?
in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It is linked.
Yeah.
So it's a spin-off of that.
It's the same universe, yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen the pilot of that show as well, which I quite liked.
Oh, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's a spin-off of the TV series.
But they're all sort of linked.
Yeah, but it's a spin-off of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. fair
I assume they're linked.
Yeah.
Unless What We Do in the Shadows, the TV series, is a weird
Yes.
remake or something.
A movie that nobody really watched, but I think it's really funny and it's recent, is Pop Star Never Stop, Never Stopping.
That's great,
The
yeah.
Andy Samberg. He's
Yeah.
kind of like a Justin Bieber, also, and what's his name? The other Justin.
Justin Timberlake?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
kind of like that esque kind of a Macklemore kind of character.
Yeah, right,
also. And it's just lunacy.
It
and
is a
it's,
good one.
And it's very funny. And it's got a great cast.
Yep.
And it made no money. Like nobody saw it.
Yeah, right.
It's terrific.
But
And it's got great
it's streaming
music
out
in
there.
it.
That's where I
Yeah.
saw it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you got one? Spinal Tap. This is.
This is Spinal Tap's a
I
good
don't
one.
really. I'd have to watch that again.
I mean, speaking of Walk Hard, that's the one.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a
Well, it's not a
mockumentary. It's a
mockumentary,
biopic, really.
yeah.
Have you ever seen Look Around You? That's a TV series.
that no.
It's like a parody of all those, Australia especially, if you'd watch the ABC in like an afternoon, it'd be like, here's nature. Look at nature.
Right. Okay.
It's kind of like it's like a spoof science show.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Well, when is this from?
Early 2000s maybe?
Okay. Fair
Yeah.
enough. All right. Cool. Borat comes up when you Google
Oh
this.
yeah, okay.
I mean, yeah. I feel like Borat's been ruined just by people.
Like people doing Borat impressions?
Surf's Up. I'm looking at Surf's Up is in here.
What's Surf's Up?
It's a movie where Shia LaBeouf voices a surfing CGI penguin.
Oh, that's a great mockumentary.
I'm pretty confident. Kenny, which is an Australian mockumentary about
Beef and Dairy Network, the podcast, is a great mockumentary. I mean, I guess, of sorts.
Did you see Bruno?
No, I've never seen Bruno.
I think I did. I didn't. I don't remember liking it very much.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, there's some mockumentaries for you. But the number one for me, if you haven't seen it, would be Pops. Might not be the best, but Pop Star Never Stop, Never Stop.
That's a good one, yeah.
It's very good.
Look Around You is, I think it's probably on YouTube.
Mm.
Not a mockumentary, but something, they just released it and I have to get it. Are you aware of Scarfolk?
No.
It's a blog. It's a blog set in a weird town in England where the 70s keeps looping.
Okay.
And it's like this kind of surreal I don't know. It's hard to describe.
Yeah.
But they've released recently the Scarfolk Annual,
Okay.
which is like again when we were kids, this thing was like an annual. It would be like the Knight Rider Annual, and it was just like a hardback kind of book. And it had like comics and cartoons and like prose stuff and puzzles and mazes and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like a parody of that.
Yes.
I have to get it because it looks
Like a physical copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. Cool. Scarfolk.
Scarfolk.
The movie. Got
Hang
it.
on, I'm gonna bloody get one up here. Scarfolk, a fictional northern English town created by writer and designer Richard Littler, a blog of fake historical documents parodying British public information posts of the 70s. I know that doesn't sound exciting at all, but it's super weird and kind of like it's like a satire of that decade, and it's also like a satire of now, like through the lens of the 70s.
Cool.
Yeah, I wonder if
check
the blog
it out.
if you go to scarfolk.blogspot.com, this month they've released the Little Lady Breath Mirror Corpse Detection set. So it's like a fake, like a plastic action figure set, and you pop it out and they're like, there's a pink one for girls and a blue one for boys.
Love it.
And you check if somebody's alive with it. Anyway, that's an example.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll check that out. You got another letter? Or is that the
Oh,
end
I've
of
got
letters?
some more letters. Don't even worry about it, mate. Don't even worry about
I
it.
wasn't that worried, to be honest.
Okay.
Either way.
Oh, this is from Con LeQuinn. Who you might know from photoshopping and his her name being spelled Conlaodh.
Oh, very good.
Hey, Jimmy and Nicky, with the imminent release of James's magnum opus,
Hello. It's not a magnum opus.
or there is something I need to know. What was the glaringly strange thing that James noticed about Han Solo during The Force Awakens?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can know.
He mentioned it months and months ago, and I thought like a fool that he would reveal this revelation in an upcoming video, but alas, no dice.
I never did it. But there is a moment in The Force Awakens where Rey is talking to Han Solo after they land on Maz Kanata's planet, and they're talking to each other. And what they've done, they've either reshot it or taken the same footage from the thing and kind of mixed it together. But Han Solo's face is not attached properly to his forehead, and it shifts.
Yes.
Like his forehead moves and his head doesn't. So they've clearly just pasted his head on. And like color-wise, it matches perfectly.
Yes.
But I don't know whether they did it in a pickup or whatever, but they've put his face on
A stuntman?
himself.
Oh, not a double or anything.
No.
Okay.
And it shifts. There's like a second where it like shifts sideways.
Okay.
And I just, it's baffling to me what happened there.
And nobody else is like,
No, not to my knowledge.
you're the only one who's picked up on it.
It seems to be. I mean, also nobody else is talking about this.
Well,
Obviously,
of course.
So
Yeah.
anyway, that's the thing.
Yeah. I got one last email. This is from Dave Murray.
Hello, Dave.
It says, Wandering Movie Men. Hi, James and Meso. My 14-year-old son Baxter and I are currently walking the Te Araroa Trail, which is the length of New Zealand. And I was hoping you could give Baxter a shout out on your show. He's currently walked over 750 kilometers and he's still
Holy
going strong.
hell.
Hello, Baxter. Congratulations.
Stop doing it, Baxter. You've gone too far.
We're listening to your show in the evenings as we rest and get ready for the next day. Thanks for the great show. It really picks us up after a long day.
That's amazing. 750 kilometers. My goodness.
All right.
It's a beautiful country, though. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, aside from all the sheep stuff, but let's not get into it. That's incredible. Shout out and well done.
Well done, Baxter. And Dave, I guess.
Ah,
but you're a
no.
grown man.
You're a grown man, doesn't
as far
count.
as we know.
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to reach the show, it's something. No, do the end of the show.
Oh, thank you.
that.
Is that the end of the show?
It's the end of the
Thank
show.
you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for telling a friend and subscribing and giving us a rating and giving us a nice review. James, do you have a nice review?
You know I do. This is from Bryce Lover Forever. It says podcast as a
Nice,
title.
good.
5 stars says, it is a podcast you can listen to. It's good, end of review. So they can be as brief as that. You can do it right in app. Some people like to insult friends or give shout outs through there. It's a good way to sneak that in if you want
It
to.
is a good way, that's right.
Sometimes I don't read them properly before I start reading them out. So, reviews always help. And sometimes the reviews seem to disappear as well. So if you have reviewed and
Maybe review
give
again.
another one, that
Maybe
would be
review
terrific.
every day.
Yeah,
you
every
know?
day for the rest of your life. That
That's
would be
right.
great. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for buying our USB cassette tapes.
Yes.
More on the way.
You can also buy the old one as well.
buy the old one. You can buy any number of merchandise things that we have.
That's right.
If you'd like to get in contact with us, you can go to Weekly Planet Pod at Facebook, at Gmail, at Twitter, at Bandcamp,
Yes.
where we have all our commentaries except the Avengers Endgame one. So if
Correct.
you just want to listen to any of them, just
also,
go for your life.
Patreon there as well.
Yeah, that's true,
obviously.
yeah.
I got to sort out a better thing in there so they're all in the one spot because otherwise you have to scroll through.
I
I'll
see.
figure it out.
I see.
Or Collings will figure it out.
Good on
No,
him.
Don't worry, Collings, you've got enough to do.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness. You can also go to planetbroadcasting.com, see all the great podcasts on the Planet Broadcasting Network,
my
including
goodness.
maybe one that's coming up, a new one coming
very
up
exciting
soon. Very
one,
exciting
actually,
new one we
yeah.
can't talk about yet.
Yeah.
But we'll get cracking on that.
It's the Weekly Planet 2. It's us
That's right.
again.
It's us again. You can also go there and sign up to the newsletter that comes out every week from the great Rob Collings.
Yes.
Thank you, Rob Collings. He's at the Weekly Planet on Twitter. I am on Twitter. I'm Wikipedia Brown. And on Instagram, I'm Nick Maso, NickMaseau. Your Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere.
You know what, bitch?
Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group, civil fun discussions on all kinds of podcasts and pop culture topics. Very good fun. We've got some merchandise. We've got the aforementioned USB tapes. We also have t-shirts on tpublic.com. Just search for The Weekly Planet.
Please do.
If you'd like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. If you want to chuck in a buck, we would definitely appreciate that. You can also go to the Amazon affiliate link in our episode description.
Yes.
Buy the Martin Scorsese box set of DVDs. It's Martin Scorsese's face.
That's all it is.
Yep.
And on the back, it's the back of his head.
Oh, should it be young Robert De Niro and old Robert De Niro? You flip them around.
But then it would be different sizes.
No, it wouldn't. Not.
Oh, it would be
It'd be the Irishman version. Yeah,
the potato cut.
Exactly, the potato cut. Exactly. Thank you to the Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all our musical themes.
Yes.
That's the whole show, I think.
The whole show, yeah. Next week, depending on what happens, but I think it's probably going to be a trailer-heavy one.
Oh,
We
yes.
get some big trailers this week.
Okay, big trailers.
Otherwise, we'll be doing a different topic.
Big boys, big trailers.
And then after
That's what I say.
It's probably just all Star Wars
Till the end of the year and the end of our lives.
That's right. Jumanji's in there somewhere, I think.
Jumanji!
Should we do a Jumanji one?
Maybe. Do people want to hear a Jumanji one?
Jumanji 3? It is? 3 Munji?
Yeah.
Whatever we said.
Twa-manji.
Twa-manji, yeah. All right. Anyway,
Oh, Jumanji Toi. That's what we
right,
settled on
we
last
got
time.
there.
Yeah.
That's right. Great. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Jumanji Toi.
Jumanji
That's a
Toi.
good
That's
one.
good. That's great.
That's going to live on in infamy.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to tweet it to all the celebrities involved, and they're all going to block me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because Sathura, I was going to say, that's technically a Jumanji movie.
No, it isn't.
It is. It counts.
It's not.
It counts, Mason.
It's not even a spiritual successor.
It fucking
it's
is a
just a
spiritual
movie about board games.
But it's in the same board gamer-verse. This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
I mean, if you want. It's up to you.